Hey everybody, welcome to another Rufusman sketch, this time of Nightcrawler. A buddy of mine on Instagram introduced me to Xmentober. Today we're doing Nightcrawler. Okay, so as we get started here, I'm getting a color to show my sketch and differentiate that from the inking I'll do. It's just one of the tricks that artists will use as they form a drawing. And as I'm creating this initial throw down with the lines, I'm trying to think of the most dynamic pose. Nightcrawler is one of my favorite, if not the favorite of my X-Men mutants, because he's just such a unique character. His design is just so incredible. I mean, he's got 3 fingers, 3 toes, his feet are like these amazing shapes. He's got this wicked tail. He just looks so impish, just like from another world, and yet plausibly part of the X-Men franchise. I don't know. It's just one of the most well done of all the mutants I think that have ever been designed. So as I'm coming up with his design, he's very nimble, and so I want to be able to show his versatility and movement with a dynamic pose, which, I think I'm getting pretty close here. He also teleports. He kind of phases through this dimension that is kind of like a brimstone, billowy, dimension, and when he comes out, it's kind of like a big poof of this, magenta, purplish smoke. It's really cool. Alright, so now I've started another layer, and I'm now adding my inks. This drawing I actually have sped up double time, just because, just for sake of time, I don't want to spend 13 minutes or whatever that it took to get this done. Put you guys through all of my line work, but here it is starting to take shape. As I'm putting down lines, I'm kind of just going with it. I already have my guide. So I don't worry too much about, okay, are the lines perfect? How do they line up? I'm using my basic understanding of anatomy to just show and convey the movement. That's the most important thing when it comes to a pose like this. You don't want to worry so much about, how does the leg look or the arms look? It's how do they move? Because our bodies contort when we move, especially when it's a dynamic movement like this kind of pose. Here we are starting off with one of his, very signature looks, his feet. I wanted to be able to show that this is open, he just popped out, he might, reach out and grab a wall or something. And, now we're working on the tail. And as you can tell, I'm not really following the guide as closely anymore, just because I'm starting to get into a flow. And once again, your sketch is a guide, underneath the actual layer, and the inking is more of the defined drawing. Add a little bit of a shadow there to show that the tail is coming from behind there. And just sharpening and shaving the line work there. I use the same pen tool, and I just switch it out to not actually, fill it in, but to take away. And it's a subtractive technique that I find really beneficial. Here I'm adding the dark parts of the costume and using just a very common comic book technique of just some strong, heavily put lines. I press down more. Once again, staying very organic. I don't worry about filling it all in. That could easily be filled in with the colorist later on. Yep, here we got the foreshortening here. Once again, really important to kind of convey that he's stretching back and he's launching forward at the same time. Okay, another one of his signature pieces is a sword, a cutlass, which, once again, this guy just stays interesting for me. He's got a sword. Why not? And popping out of nowhere with a sword, that would be kind of freaky. Cool. Yep. There we go. And adding, once again, just very quick lines, this time to convey that this is a piece of metal. You know, it has reflective qualities. Kind of like the dark parts of his costume. Now, as you can tell, it doesn't take a lot to convey texture. In fact, less is more. You know, you don't want to have to necessarily get too crazy with it. Alright, now we're adding his teleportation cloud. And I'm here just kind of playing with line weight. I'm going a little light in some areas, pushing more into the dark and thick lines with the same stroke, usually. Using my direction lines to show where he's popping out from. This is just a quick convey that, hey, that he's popping out from the middle of this cloud or this dimension that he uses to teleport. Adding a little bit of brimstone, and yeah, we're pretty much about there. And this is, at this point, I'm pretty much ready to just discard the sketch, you know. Though I do love how it looks, you know. I love watching or looking at drawings that have that sketch still showing from underneath too. That's one of my favorites to watch on Instagram or to see. So here we go. At this point, I'm just giving it the old John Hancock here, and oh, almost forgot. So he's got, once again, another signature piece. He's got a sound effect, BAMF, which is basically the sound he makes when he teleports in the comics. Kind of cool. Okay, well, here we go. Here's the finished piece. Oh yeah. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and share. And have a wonderful day, everybody. Rock on.